Yeah, Tuesday night, lights low, sparks fly. War report after dark, better fall in line. From WWE to TNA, AU to Spark. Vince the Prince from the Northeast set it off in the dark. OG Steve led the charge. Cat Al, Eric Us, 9 p.m. Eastern. Acknowledge the ring, acknowledge us.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Please don't cancel us for a pure Spanish intro. Ha! Too soon? Well, welcome everybody to another edition. How we all doing, guys?
I'm great, man. YouTube is having some problems if you go to the main app. But if you're a subscriber, which most I think a lot of the listeners are, if you're subscribed on YouTube, it's going to show up in the subscriber thing. But the main page of YouTube is down right now, and people are freaking out. So
not the end of the world. It'll come
right.
back.
And we're on Facebook, so it doesn't matter.
And we're on Facebook too. So before we get into Raw, before we get into SmackDown, I want to get into a conversation with you guys that has been all over social media. It's been the big talk, and it kind of ties into what I have been saying now for a very long time, probably since TKO took over. I want to talk about WrestleMania, and I want to talk about the WrestleMania sales because there's a lot of chatter that WWE is in panic mode because ticket sales are tremendously down for both nights 1 and 2. You know, and I'm hearing a lot of people giving their opinions. I'm hearing a lot of it's basically the same Mania as last year. The same core guys are still main eventing. It's in the same venue. There hasn't been enough build. There hasn't been enough excitement. I've been hearing that more than what I perceive to be the obvious issue. And it goes back to everything that I have been saying, and it's the goddamn pricing. Yep. I have been saying for a long time that TKO has priced out a family, something that Vince McMahon never would have done. Say what you want about the man. Say, you know, he's a piece of shit, horrible person. Not going to dispute any of that. But at the end of the day, he is still the reason why we have what we have today. And he would have never priced us out of the market. And a family of 4 to go to even a house show these days is astronomical, not to mention a PLE, and then especially something like WrestleMania. So these prices are out of control, not to mention, think about the commitment. Vegas is not a cheap place. You got to fly to Vegas. You got to get hotel stay for 2 nights. You have to have food for the time you're there. You're going to do extra things as well, meet and greets, Hall of Fame, whatever it is, NXT. You're going to do shit, conventions, and then you have the 2 nights of Mania. So it is a massive financial commitment for one person, let alone trying to bring a family of 3 or 4 or 5. And then you also got to think about the place. Vegas isn't like the kid-friendly type vacation spot, right? It's not Orlando where you have Universal and Disney and everything else in between. It's not like New York. It's not like Philly. You know what I'm saying? It's not a kid-oriented place. The kids can't go gamble. They can't, go to, bars. They can't do that kind of shit, clubbing and all that. So, if you're going to do stuff that is tailored to the kids, that's also a big expense if you're going to take them to a different show. Because, they have magicians, they have Chris Angel, they have David Copperfield, they have all types of crazy shit. But it's a cost. So TKO, thank you. This is your fault. And I'm kind of glad in a way that it's happening because I think this is what has to happen for them to wake up and realize pricing has to change.
I mean, you might have said it all. I agree entirely on that. What's up, Jassim? Nice belt in your profile picture there, buddy.
Loving the profile picture scene.
That's really cool. But Vegas, so Vegas alternates like every 10 or 20 years where they're like really seedy about like gambling and strippers, and then they go back to like family friendly stuff. You see that kind of in the movie Casino, where it goes from like seedy stuff, and then they try and do more family friendly, and then it like flips back to the seedy stuff. Like back in like the 2000s, 2010s, it was way back to seedy stuff, and still kind of is. They're trying to get out of that now. There's not as much gambling going on. There's actually not a lot of travel going to Las Vegas in general, internationally and domestically. Like it's not just a WrestleMania problem. It is a Las Vegas problem where, like you said, there's so many other places you can go. You can go to Cedar Point, and you can go to the Jersey Shore. You can go to Universal Studios or Disney or whatever. You're not going to Las Vegas. Running it two years in a row. Also screwing over the people in New Orleans. And you have to imagine there are some people who live down south that didn't go to Vegas because they got canceled in New Orleans. I would have tried to go to New Orleans. But yeah, finally, just the pricing for those of you who aren't aware.
See, but the other thing too is if like you have it in a place like New York, right? You've got right off the bat, without people having to fly and travel, you have all of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania in driving distance, where people right there will sell out your show. Before you get the Europeans flying in and everything else, you're already going to sell. You're not going to have so many Vegas locals that are going to pay this money to go and attend WrestleMania unless they're fans of the product.
No, I agree. I think banking on Vegas locals is really a dangerous proposition. They didn't even want to put the hockey team there.
Right.
And then because they were worried that people wouldn't be going. Luckily, Las Vegas, they went and won a Stanley Cup like right away within the first 2 or 3 seasons. And the town completely supports them in Las Vegas. But WrestleMania is different, especially with
to wake up.
Just for comparison, the first WrestleMania I went to was in WrestleMania 29 at MetLife Stadium, and I paid like $210 for a ticket. Mm-hmm. The next year I paid in New Orleans, I paid like $250, $300. I didn't go to Dallas and I didn't go to San Diego or San Francisco, but then I went to Orlando. That was another like $250 ticket. And then finally we went to that WrestleMania 35. And what was that? That was 2019. How much did those cost?
Still, you were still in the same
right,
in the same ball game. Like I've been to countless Manias and Summer Slams and all the big shows. I've been to hundreds of them. I've never ever paid more than $250 per ticket for a great seat. Like I'm talking a seat where I didn't need to look at the screen like I'm at home.
Yes.
I was there. Like I could see the ring clearly. I was close enough. Like great seats for $250, and now that same ticket is over $1,000.
And if you want to pay, I checked it out. If you want to pay $200 or $300, you are sitting in the very top rung of that.
See, and I'm seeing nosebleeds now for Mania in the 700s.
That's
nosebleeds, wild. Vince. Nosebleeds for 700. Right. It's insane.
Yeah, and you want to,
and then they just announced for 3 days that they're discounting tickets 25%.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? They're freaking out now. But fuck you. You did this to yourselves. Shame on TKO. Like they're gouging. And I have said it for so long. They're pricing people out.
Yep.
You have to count on the kids. The kids are your future eyes on the product.
Right.
And if the parents can't afford to take the kids, they're going to lose interest. Right. It's mind-blowing to me. We got my daughter Addie in the chat. Everyone say hi to Addie. I want you to what's crazy? So Godzilla Eminem is now the theme song for Monday Night Raw. This girl knows every single word to that song. It's mind-blowing. And if you've actually listened to the song, it's not the easiest song in the world to learn. So pretty amazing. And everyone say hi to Tara. Tara's with us too. So it's just very frustrating. Like, you should be able to go to a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. It's not even, you don't even have to worry about one night now. You have to pay for two, because who wants to go, to pick and choose? Oh, am I going to go to night one or night two? So if you're a diehard fan, you're going to go for two. So that's double everything. So it
Yeah.
makes it even harder.
It's a shame, right? It's crazy to think that to have great seats and have a great experience, you might as well just go to Disney and spend a week than to go to WrestleMania and go for 2 nights, because it might be just as expensive.
Well,
It's
I think
fucking insane.
Steve actually might know the answer to that, because you guys, I remember there was a plan last year to go to SummerSlam, and then Al was like, "Oh, the tickets are $1,000 each," and I'm like, "I'm good on that." A little bit pricey. $200-300, I'd be there with you. But
I think we ended up paying $750 a night,
I
and
mean,
what
that's
hurt
not
even most,
terrible.
and that just lets you know, to Steve's point, right, how much room they have in markup in this. That my friend, not my friend, I'm sorry, I'll relay. Me and Mitch, my friend Mitch, were going, and our coworker was gonna go with us, and we ended up hanging out. I don't know if we were watching football games or watching something beforehand. And my friend said, "Oh no, I'm lying. We were watching SummerSlam night one at his house, just pregame and watching the game." And he still didn't have a ticket. And this guy was able to seat on the floor because he bought
Well,
it last minute for $450 on the floor, 9 rows back.
Unreal.
While I was sitting in section one, like, row 15 for $750 a night.
yeah, you
So
just
it
gotta
just
wait.
shows you what you can get.
I every time I've gone to an AEW show, I've waited until a day or two beforehand, and I usually am able to find. I've literally never paid over $50 or $60 for a ticket to an AEW show. Like, I've paid for parking that was more expensive than the ticket to AEW, and I've
Wow.
had a hell of a time.
And you get good seats?
Yeah, the only time I didn't get good seats was at the Belmont for World's End. I got basically the back row of that arena. But again, I bought the tickets 2 days beforehand. I paid maybe $35 for the ticket and then $50 for parking. So it
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the
I
other
really
thing.
want to, Steve, you wouldn't want to go to a AEW event?
I would most certainly go to an AEW event.
We should
Absolutely.
definitely go to one, man. It's cheaper and there's some great wrestling going on.
Well,
They
see,
got-
and that's the other problem they're going to run into. People eventually are going to say, you know what, fuck you, and they're going to just start going to AEW, and they're going to go to TNA, and
Yeah.
they're going to go to House of Glory, and they're going to go to all the indie stuff because it's a lot cheaper, and you still get a lot of the big names that come over and go
Yeah.
to those shows. I mean, you got MJF defending the AEW title against Zilla Fatu at House of Glory. So
Look, I don't think that would happen because they're just such a big powerhouse. Because you have to understand, the average, I would say a large percentage of the wrestling fan doesn't even go to live events. You know what I'm saying? And take me for example. I am a long time wrestling fan, and I've been to 4 events, I think, my whole entire life as a 41-year-old man. So I would say most of us enjoy it at home. So I don't think nobody will gravitate other places. However, they will boycott and not go to live events for that reason, I think.
and it's not even. It may not be an intentional boycott. It
Right,
might
it's
just
not
be
even
I
intentional.
just can't afford to
You
fucking
can't
go.
afford it. Correct. Can't
I mean,
afford it.
some of these Mania packages are like $45,000-$50,000.
That's
Insane.
Like, are you kidding? You could go buy a fucking Lexus for $50,000.
Right.
It's a better deal. you get to drive a car.
Right, and keep it.
100%.
It's your car. Like,
For that $50,000 WrestleMania package, you get to keep the chair.
yeah, can you imagine next year in Saudi what those prices are going to be like? They're going to be crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be nuts. And how many people from the States are actually going to travel?
That guy in the green
and go
shirt.
there. The green shirt guy will be there for sure. But I mean, it's it's just a different world over there. Like it's almost like I'd be afraid to go. You know, either that or I would have to study up because
Right.
there's a lot of things that are not okay over there that'll get you, fucking killed or locked up. So, it's just I don't know that I'd be comfortable. Not to mention, you got to pay to fly out there.
Oh yeah.
And then you got to get hotel, and then you got to get, it's the same cycle, and then 2 nights of Mania and this and that. It's you're going to have to be rich,
Yeah.
or get a really great tax return and use that entire tax return to go to a wrestling show, which most people, even diehard fans, are not going to do because, unfortunately, we all got bills to pay. And
Yeah,
those bills aren't getting any fucking cheaper.
No, and the WrestleMania used to be the thing my parents and I would do for several years as like a little vacation. Because like if it's New Orleans or Orlando or whatever, you get there, you spend 4 or 5 days, you go to the beach, you have a good time, whatever, and then you go to WrestleMania. That was back when it was only one night. You had a nice little vacation on your hands. Now there's just like we still have flight vouchers from the last WrestleMania that was canceled because of COVID. That was like 36, I want to say. And we kept them. We're like, we'll just go to WrestleMania next year. And then every year the prices have just gone up. And we're like, at this point, we should use those flights on any other trip because WrestleMania
On vacations.
Right,
On
exactly.
vacations.
We could just fly to Orlando and or wherever, Clearwater, somewhere, and go to the beach.
It's like for me, I'm at a point where I just got to wait until they're back in New York because then at least it alleviates hotel and flight.
Right.
And then I have more money to spend on the tickets, but then parking is
go.
astronomical. The food is astronomical at these stadiums. I mean, I remember the last Giant game I went to, which was last season. And I mean, you're talking, there were 2 of us, 4 hot dogs, 2 orders of fries, and a couple sodas, and it was $85.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I don't go, like, even when it goes to the Civic Center, I don't go because, like, first of all, I mean, Steve, you lived in Connecticut for a little while.
Yeah.
Driving downtown and then parking at those garages near the XL Center is terrible.
Oh, pain in the ass.
It's not expensive, but it's just terrible to get in and out. You sit in your car for a long ass time trying to get out of that fucking thing. Or then you can get street parking somewhere else, but then you have to walk through downtown Hartford to the XL Center. And it's just the whole thing is just like, why fucking bother when I can watch it on TV? And
what we used to do is we would park in that garage and then we would go to the side where they all leave. And we'd wait to see them all go.
Right.
So by the time that was done, the garage was cleared out. You just got in your car and drove out. And it gave you something to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think the last show I saw at the Hartford Civic Center, Hogan was there. So that tells you something.
Was it the Hogan? Was it the one?
He stalled on the bike, I think. I think it was that one.
I was
there. We were both there for that. I was there. And then we waited. And the only reason why I know it was him in the truck when they left is because he actually had cop escorts and they were blowing through red lights because they didn't want the fans to bum rush the car.
Yeah.
But
that's cool. I got Stone Cold's beer can from that show. I still have
that's awesome. Do you really?
Yeah, I was like, that was the night that they changed over from WWF to WWE and they showed the thing with the F getting cut off and everybody booed. Yeah. It was a wild night.
But now when you look back, it was such a brilliant marketing plan. They made so much money off of that.
They turned a negative into a positive with that.
Get the F out
branding. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was such a fun show. Yeah, Stone Cold came out, gave stoners to everybody. He cracked beer cans at the end. Everybody's clearing out. I walk down because I'm like 15, 20 rows up. I walk down to the railing and I'm like, stage hand. And the guy turns around. I go, beer can. And he throws me a beer. And I'm like 13 years old and he's throwing me a half full beer can.
That's great. Only in wrestling.
I know, right? Only in wrestling would that be appropriate.
All right. Let's move off the soapbox. I think we've drilled this point home, but TKO do better. I mean, that's really what it comes down to before you alienate all of your fans. So we had SmackDown and Raw. I'm kind of iffy on both shows, to be quite honest. I mean, there were some highlights, I guess, but overall, I didn't think they were the strongest shows. We did get a returning Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. I mean, she looked great. Rio versus Lash Legend and Nia Jax, I thought was great. I mean, they just really beat the shit out of each other. It ended up in a no contest. That was probably one of the best matches of the card. I'm enjoying that. Carmelo, yeah, go ahead.
I just overall, I just want to say, based on how you started the conversation, that I completely agree with you. I dare to say, and take it a step further, I dare to say this was arguably the worst week of wrestling we've had all year, and
That's pretty strong.
and honestly, I can't even be mad, because is that I think creative is so frustrated right now with all the injuries and everything that's going around them, that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well,
I
there's a lot of the problem is that this close to the road, or being on the road to
on the road.
WrestleMania, and you're just starting to build guys like Oba and Trick, and all these guys that you're starting to bring up. You should have done it a little earlier. You know what I mean? Like, Oba really hasn't even officially signed to a brand yet, but he's getting the most attention and the most chatter online.
I think
Everything
there's
about Oba.
I think there's somebody that we've been clamming on to a while, that this is when you finally pull the trigger, because of his age and the fact that he's still hot. And I
Yeah,
will put the fucking strap. Yeah, I'll put
yeah.
that fucking strap on LA Knight and put a rocket in his ass and let him go after Drew McIntyre.
I
And
just don't
find
see it
something
happen.
else to do for fucking Cody. God damn it.
Yeah,
Cody could do something. He don't need
but
the belt.
but we all know that is not happening,
But
because he's their guy, and he is going to be in that main event at WrestleMania. I'm just hoping either way it
but
is the triple threat match, and we're getting Jacob, Cody, and Drew, because at least that's a story that's been building, and that would be a great triple threat. The best
I
situation in that scenario is that Jacob is the one that actually walks out as champion.
I think that you could. So put it this way. I don't think Jacob right now is more over than LA Knight, believe it or not. Call me crazy, but
Hmm.
I don't think he's over more with the crowd. And you could always, history has proven to us that in great events and great matches, not only WrestleManias, there's ways to keep certain individuals that are quote unquote the guy out of the main event, right? You had Hulk Hogan go up against Sid Justice. You had Bret the Hitman Hart go up against Stone Cold in one of the best matches ever. No, you had Shawn Michael go up against The Undertaker. So, you could do this. You could have Cody, and dare I'm not comparing Cody, I'm not Cody, I'm sorry, Fatu yet to the level of these guys that I just mentioned. But you could have a Fatu Cody match with like a street fight or something like that at a WrestleMania, that they could put up a 4-star match. And you
So
could put a guy over like LA. Like, I don't know. I just feel
I
like this is the time.
I don't necessarily disagree with anything you just said, but in my head, your Mania match is LA Knight versus Bronson Reed.
Hmm.
It's going to be retribution and payback for him splashing him through the hood of a car and everything like that. That's what I see. Like, I could see those two taking each other out and that becoming a Mania match. But at the same time, you also got this masked guy that we still don't know how that's going to pay off. And is that person going to be the one to go up against Bronson Reed, or is it
Right.
going to be Logan Paul's opponent? Because say what you want about Logan, but since he signed his new deal, he has been at every single show.
Yep.
So
He is a wrestler now. We can't
he
say
is
no
a
different.
full-time guy, and he's fantastic. And fuck him for $16 million for selling his Pokemon card.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
I
he
heard that
needs
in the
more
car
money.
today. It made me depressed.
It's unbelievable. So much money. But so We still don't know who the mask guy is, so we're waiting on that. Now we got this fucking box that showed up on Raw that is to be opened at Elimination Chamber. Now, what are we thinking is the box? Because, of course, the number one trending thought of who or what is inside this box is Jericho. And I feel like now we're at a point that everything we see, people are automatically going to say, okay, this is Jericho. But I would say it would be very cool if, like, at the chamber, they open the crate and it's a countdown clock to Mania, like old school Jericho countdown. And then that kind of builds to Jericho's return at Mania or something. But I don't know. I'm kind of losing faith in the whole Jericho idea. Like, I feel like he wasn't at the Rumble. I don't know.
I'm trying to find more on it, but I just saw Fightful report that Chris Jericho's AEW contract was frozen sometime in 2025.
Well, you know what? When we first started talking about that whole Jericho coming over, I was surprised that you guys mentioned it because I felt like a guy like Jericho has to have a no compete clause for X amount of time. You know, no disrespect to Andrade, but if Andrade had one, I know damn well Jericho's gonna have one. So that's why I thought it might have been a little too soon. I would love to see him in WrestleMania, and in times like now that you have so many injuries, I mean, why not? You know, he wouldn't be taking anybody's spot. Steve, I think you became a chickmunk again.
Yeah, you got to restart your mic. I wish we heard that one.
Oh, that was great.
Like that would have been so funny.
That was fucking awesome. But yeah, that's what I mean, look, I don't know, Vince, like I haven't heard you say much. What do you think about this though? LA Knight finally getting a shot based on what's going on, or you're over him?
Is that better?
Yeah, you're back. Listen, I
now
think
I can't hear you.
Oh, now you can't hear who?
This happened
Me?
last time. All right. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, he'll be back. Wonderful. It's just that time of the show. So LA Knight. I wish they got hot on LA Knight sooner.
I agree.
Because he's lost a couple big matches in the last few years that, like, if all of a sudden he's in the main event of WrestleMania over Cody or over Jacob Fatu, I feel like people are going to be might be mad. Not that it wouldn't be a good match, but I think what would be cool, and I don't know how we'd get there because the belts are tied up, I'm sure, but my favorite thing, and I know they've done this before with multi-man ladder matches, but I like a one-on-one ladder match. And I think a WrestleMania one-on-one ladder match for the IC title, like they would do with Shawn and Razor, and you put LA Knight and somebody in there who can really deliver for an IC title match, that would be something I could see. Al, for you, because you were off, basically I said that I think that LA Knight, I wish they heated up on LA Knight earlier, and he's suffered a couple big losses in the last few years. And I think that because of that, if he was put in the championship match over Cody and Jacob, that the fans wouldn't respond well to that.
Okay.
That's just where, and I'm
hey, man, I respect what you're saying, and it is validated. It makes sense. It's just, it is wrestling, and wrestlers get real hot over anywhere. And I don't know. I feel like, yes, there is a fan base, the younger fan base that would be upset with no Cody. But like I wouldn't be mad at Cody not being in the championship match for once in God knows how many years.
See, neither would I, but I feel like, so here's the other thing that I wouldn't be opposed to. Since we're already talking about a three-way, a triple threat with Drew, Cody, and Jacob, make it a fucking four-way, throw in LA Knight. I don't give a shit. Like, then, he's in the main event. He's in a championship match. Anybody can win. 4 guys, 1 championship,
Right.
Good odds for a title change. And better odds for LA Knight, because if he's in a one-on-one match, I don't see him winning. But in a 4-way, he can sneak a pin.
Sneak one out.
But how do you get there? How do you get there?
Elimination Chamber.
And how does that devalue the Elimination Chamber? So what? You're gonna have LA Knight win the Chamber? What about Jacob Fatu? Like Jacob has to win the Chamber to be in the main event.
Right.
To then
is Cody
figure out
also
Cody's
in the
not in the main event. So how is Cody going to get there?
because he's Cody.
That's not
I-
an answer, though. You
Well,
can't
no,
say
because
that.
theoretically, Jacob Fatu beats Cody last or screws him over somehow to get him out of the
What did they
elimination
screw
chamber.
each other? They're the ones that screw each other.
And they tie?
And no, they fucking lose to LA Knight.
Oh. I mean,
They're
listen,
the
it would
ones,
be a
and
shock.
hence they have their own one-on-one street fight at fucking Rainier.
I mean, I think at this point, if you're already bringing back Roman Reigns for the main event on the other side, and you've got CM Punk, like you've already kind of got
The main event.
right. Punk is finally going to get his night 2 main event instead of night
Right.
1, and yeah, do whatever the fuck you want with the world title. Like, I think there's
Cody
always
can still main
Right,
event night 1
yeah.
because you
I
could
think-
start with the WWE Championship in night 1.
Well, dude, it has to be night 1 because night 2 is already guaranteed CM Punk Roman Reigns.
Correct,
So it's
which
gotta be
is
night 1.
the actual main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So Cody will be the halftime show this year.
Which is fine. I think,
Cody will be Bad Bunny this year. That's who will be.
and that's okay because like you said, he's been in the main event. So I mean,
So many
one
times.
one year he was in both nights of the main event. You
Yes.
know, like
Oh, that's
shit.
right.
So, it's okay
Yes.
for him to step back. And I still think if he's not, he's probably going to be in this world championship match with Drew. But if he's not, then yeah, maybe a big marquee singles match. Like he had a great one with Rey Mysterio several years ago. He could probably put on a good match with LA. Like if both of them get screwed out of the title and it's Jacob versus Drew, then you do Cody versus LA Knight. The winner
So-
becomes number 1 contender.
This is a good time to bring this up because we are now hypothetically speaking about LA Knight being in that main event. The other fucking problem that I have that's getting me real fired up, and you're smiling, so you probably already have an idea where I'm headed.
Oh boy.
But there are rumors that they're talking about Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight at Mania, and I'm telling you right now, if
No,
that
that's not
happens, if that happens, I might consider not watching this year.
You are still
Because-
watching, first
no,
of all.
because if you were gonna have, like, are you kidding me?
You
Like,
couldn't
we
even
have
take a
an
piss during that match.
opportunity-
That match
we
would
have
be
an
2 minutes long.
opportunity to have Oba Brock or Brock Gunther
Yeah.
that we've been hammering for years. And if you pull the trigger and make it LA Knight versus Brock Lesnar, there is nothing that would interest me less.
I agree that it wouldn't be very interesting. I don't know if it ruins the whole WrestleMania. First of all, WrestleMania is not that fascinating this year.
Well, we don't know
At all.
I mean, they haven't really shaped it yet. We know.
I guess
about
I
the
should
main
say
event
yet.
of night 2. We don't really know anything.
Right,
else.
right. We don't know much.
We're speculating, but we don't really know.
I mean, I know one thing for certain. I know Roman Reigns is going to Superman punch CM Punk into orbit and take that title.
Are we really convinced that Roman's capturing the title?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know if I'm convinced.
I'm
I'm
not necessarily upset about that, by the way, but
I'm convinced just because I feel like they know that CM Punk Roman Reigns is their biggest match, and while CM Punk is, a legend and all that, the reality is Roman Reigns is probably going to be wrestling for longer than CM Punk. And just kind of like booking wise, unless he really gets screwed over by Paul Heyman or somebody,
well,
the
now,
idea
hold
of
on.
Roman losing one-on-one to Punk is kind of
But-
to me.
Yeah, but let's not get that twisted either.
You don't got to lose clean.
Roman will be wrestling for a lot longer than Punk, but he's not really wrestling either. I mean, what is he making 6 appearances a year? Where, say what you want about CM Punk, he's been wrestling and defending that title constantly. So
So maybe Rollins comes back and interferes or something. I don't know.
So,
There's-
question: You
Yeah.
can't possibly.
Rollins comes back as a face and goes after the division.
We
So who-
can't see a possible heel turn by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania to keep his.
Well, that's
belt?
what I'm saying. So how do we regard?
Not
if we're
Roman
going
Reigns. I'm
through-
sorry, CM Punk. I didn't mean Reigns. I meant CM
I
Punk.
would actually, I would rather see CM Punk turn heel, but
100%.
I think we're also at a point with CM Punk that he may not. because if you go back to TKO and the greediness, I mean, he's a top merch seller. You turn him heel, that may change. So, and the kids, I mean, listen to the pop he still gets. They sing him out. You know,
Those ain't kids singing that though.
But that's what I'm thinking.
well,
a lot
but
of
if you look at the crowd,
And-
the kids are singing as much as the adults now.
Right, and they won't stop singing it because it's fucking CM Punk. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
my
that's
point, though.
I just think when certain people get to a certain level in their career, I don't care what you do with them, they're just gonna be that.
and you also have to like it's generally true when somebody turns heel they sell less merch, but there are exceptions. The NWO, DX, Edge, Punk as the straight edge savior, so you can
But that's
turn
a
him
little
and
different
still
'cause
have
those were that was like the cool thing to be a part of. Like if you were down with the NWO because they were so anti
right.
the system, like you were part of the cool kids. You know what I mean? And then it was cool to like the NWO,
So,
and that's what
so
ultimately
question,
turned them.
time out. But that's not right because the face that we root for will never be anti-society or anti, police and all that other stuff. So you're
But we did.
you're
with
playing
the
both sides of
NWO.
the coin right there, buddy.
No, that's not true at all. Because if you look at examples like the NWO or DX, they were against the establishment. And it was
Correct.
cool to root for them. And that's why
But-
the crowd cheered them and bought their merch. And ultimately, they had to turn face.
right,
Both
but-
NWO and DX.
But then he's saying the babyface. You don't buy babyface merch because they're anti-establishment,
Correct.
right?
Right.
Stone
Well,
Cold, maybe.
maybe Stone Cold. But like
But
that's the
but
thing.
and,
Like
and
there's
technically,
only
Stone Cold wasn't a babyface. I keep saying it. That motherfucker used to curse at people, put middle fingers up. He was not a babyface. We just loved him. It's like he wasn't a baby. We loved him. He fucked everybody up.
But
It didn't
that's-
matter.
But that's the same thing with Brock Lesnar. You know, that's going to be the same thing with a guy like Obafemi. Like when they decide to turn him, like people are still going to get back. Look at what's happening to Trick Williams. They brought him back as a heel, or they brought him up as a heel. That crowd is turning him face. I don't know how much longer
that
they're going
failed
to be
so
able
quick.
to keep it. I mean, dude, the whole thing with the lemon pepper steppers and everything else, like it just works and it's catching with the crowd. So I don't see how they keep him heel for too much longer because the crowd is making him face because he's one of the loudest pops every single night he is on TV.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even rush it. I mean, think about it. They didn't rush The Rock. They didn't rush Stone Cold. Those guys stayed for a while in character, and I mean, they didn't have to do anything like that.
They did that with Becky too. Becky still stayed heel, and then the fans
Right.
really wanted her to go babyface. I mean,
Look at what's happening to Liv and Dominic.
yeah,
I mean, they're
that's been a
getting
couple
cheered,
years now.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Now that you've brought it up, now is a good time to mention that Dominic Mysterio and WWE have scored a new sponsorship. Dude Wipes. Yes, the disposable wipes for your body. You imagine where you can use disposable wet wipes.
Yeah.
They're also deodorant. You can use them as underarm wipes, but like apparently Dominic Mysterio is going to get paid a lot of money to wear a Dude Wipes themed costume at WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, somewhere. He's now sponsored. He has to wear Dude Wipes on his gear.
I think it's great. I mean, like out of all people, Dominic with the
I know.
is just perfect. By the way, him having a Valentine's Day dinner ringside with chicken nuggies with Liv was everything. I
That
mean,
guy's funny.
that was great. And then the sit down with Michael Cole on Raw was one of the best segments of the whole night, where Stephanie
Are they the
came
best
in
couple?
and talked the whole thing in Spanish, and Dom is translating in her ear. I mean, and I don't even know what she said, but had Liv in tears. I mean, Liv is obviously going to choose Stephanie. and
He
that's gonna
actually
be her
did
main event.
translate, by the way, word for word. So everything she said to him, it was exactly.
What did she actually say? Do you remember?
You didn't hear Dom?
I couldn't hear what Dom. He was whispering in her ear. I couldn't. hear what
Oh,
he said.
I did hear Dom. He kept saying no. He was just saying that like she came up easy, and the only place she's ever been is in WWE. But she came through the grind, and in Chile there was no such thing as wrestling, let alone women's wrestling. and she went to Japan and went here and went Mexico and went there and came through the trenches, and that when it's gonna come to blah blah, she's not gonna beat her and blah blah, whatever the case may be. So it was pretty. It was a pretty good promo. It was.
I do
And
like
I
that it
like
was
the
all
fact
in
that she.
Spanish, and
I
that
like the fact
Dominic
she.
had to translate.
What happened?
I said I did enjoy that it was all in Spanish and that she had no idea what was being said and that Dom had to translate everything.
Well, the reason I liked it more even that it was in Spanish because it flew natural for her, right? Like she cut a promo that way. It was
Well, right, 'cause
easier.
her
I don't
English
think
is terrible.
it would have translated that great if she did it in English. So I was glad they went that
Well,
route.
because her English is very broken. I
Yes.
mean, she doesn't.
It's
speak
getting
great
better.
English. It is.
It's getting better, but it's still she wouldn't be able to put that passion behind it.
Right.
So I'm glad she stuck to the English part. Spanish.
Yeah, that's I don't mind it. I think they found a way to put it. It made sense because somebody was translating. Even when they had like Asuka would cut promos in Japanese and then they put the subtitles.
Exactly.
You still know what they fucking said. Like
Right. Like I don't know what she said, but she said something cool.
I would much rather have Stephanie Vicaire cut a passionate promo in Spanish and then have somebody translate or have the subtitles because you can get a lot, even if you don't necessarily know Spanish or know a couple words. You can tell the difference between somebody who's calm and somebody who's yelling and somebody who's like, they feel something. You can tell what their emotion is, even if you can't understand their language. Whereas if she goes out there, she goes, I like wrestle, and when I wrestle you, I put on the hold, I win the belt. Like I can't. No, we're not going to do that. That's not
right.
Speak in Spanish. I would much rather you speak in Spanish.
100%.
And it comes off more natural.
Not to change the subject, but to keep things moving along. Anyone's attitude changing with Natty? Because I've been saying I'm liking this version of Natty, and I'm liking her more and more week by week now.
It for me it seems that I guess this is her last shot, or WWE is giving her a shot, and like you said, less talking, more action. She is a wrestler.
Yeah.
I do like it better than anything I've seen from her in the past. So.
I like the intensity. I like just the straight dash to the ring, the mean mugging, quick walk down to the ring, just focused, burning holes through your opponent, walking to the ring,
right.
And then, just getting right to it. I mean, I like the aggressiveness out of Natty, and I do like the lack of talking. She doesn't need to cut promos, just kick ass.
Things. She's here to chew gum and kick ass, and she ran out of fucking gum on the way to the ring. So I love it.
Yeah, and I think there's only one way to go for Natty, and that's up. So already it was an improvement over what she had been doing the last 10 years plus.
Agreed.
And you just wish, like LA Knight, she found this stride fucking 5 years ago. Like that would be great.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Also, I think we need to, to piggyback off of last week, Shinsuke lost again this week. In case we're keeping a tally. And we had Alexa Bliss, Julia Zelina. They're still teasing the whole issue with Alexa and Charlotte, but secretly I'm hoping they stick together. But something tells me they're both going to be they're both in the chamber, and things are going to happen. But Alexa wins, so she's in the chamber. Ray Phoenix, Trick Williams was a great match. Trick impresses. Ray is just, he's amazing. How did we feel about Jade Cargill, Jordynne Grace? That was probably the longest match Jade has had. Probably the most offense she's had to take. The strength of Jordynne Grace impresses the hell out of me time and time again.
Very strong little woman. Very strong.
I thought Jade did a great job in that match, to be honest. I thought that was one of her best performances. She wound up winning, which, that was expected. But what are we thinking? I saw improvement out of Jade in that match. and maybe a lot of that had to do with Jordan Grace and being able to help make it look all good. But I had no problem with Jade in that match.
I I think you're right. She's one of those performers who, when you put her in with a good opponent, is able to wrestle well. But if you put somebody in there and she needs to lead the match, or she needs to
That's where
do
you have a problem.
right.
I
So
agree.
Jordan Grace is great. As I said last week, I feel like the only downside to this is we knew she was losing, and she was one of those people that I thought could have been built up to have a big WrestleMania match and take the title from her, stop the undefeated streak, all that stuff. And not that she couldn't in the future, but now you have to reheat somebody who just lost a title to get back to that status. If they kept them apart until WrestleMania and she won some tournament or a beat the clock challenge or whatever to be number one contender, Elimination Chamber, then they would have never touched. She would have never had that loss, and it would have been it would feel bigger if they got it done at WrestleMania. But we're here now, so I don't know what the women's title picture looks like going to WrestleMania.
I feel that I would have loved her to go into WrestleMania for a mid card title. I think that's where they should have started her. I think I said this a few months ago. Actually, I see her as a U.S. Women Champion for some reason. You're gonna play that against our current U.S. champion right now, which whoever she fights, if she gets a match at WrestleMania, she's going to lose the belt. Um, uh, that's what I would like to see from her. Moving her up too quick, again, it's going to take a little bit of shine from her, even though she didn't come in with that much pop, or at least as much pop as I expected her to come in with.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get what I thought she should have gotten for what I've seen. She held the TNA Women's title for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she held it
And
for a little bit. She actually had a very good showing at a Royal Rumble. We recall, I think, like a year or two
a couple
ago,
years ago, yeah.
a few years back, as the champion, she came out with the belt. So it was kind of shocking. Um, I don't know if WWE is just panicking on opponents to put in front of Jade, and I guess they don't want to put people that look too weak. But at the end of the day, it don't matter who you put in front of her right now. Like I said last week, the only freaking person that could beat her for that title is Rey Mysterio, and I wasn't speaking wrong. Steve tried to question me. He's like, "What did you say?" But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna have to take almost a grown ass man pretty much to beat her, because I
But
think she should keep the title through WrestleMania.
you picked the smallest grown ass man on the roster, though.
Correct. That's what I should. We're bigger by nature.
I think Rey Mysterio would have trouble with her.
Yo,
She's too
either
tall.
Steve is either praying or he is frozen.
No, I'm listening. I'm here.
He's
Oh
looking something
man.
up.
I got a message. I gotta.
Oh, okay. I was like, Joe, he's definitely frozen. He hasn't even breathed.
Oh no. I'm good. Main event, SmackDown. You had Zayn, Rhodes, Fatu, Chamber. Obviously, Cody was winning, but it was a good match. But again, I mean, there was no doubt that Cody wasn't getting over in that match. So moving on to Raw. We already kind of went over some things. I thought the opening was decent. Like the Usos coming out, the Yeet Fest got interrupted by Heyman, set up a 6-man tag with the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision, which the Vision goes over. The Masked Man shows up again, runs into the crowd. And of course, we still don't know who that is. I mean, it was an okay match. Then you had the Elimination Chamber qualifier, Bailey, Asuka, Natty. That was a great match. I was surprised to see Asuka get over. I honestly thought it might have been Natty, since they're making such a push, and like you have a much more aggressive Natty. Wouldn't you want to see that much more aggressive Natty in the Elimination Chamber? So I was kind of surprised by that decision.
It was one of those weird things, right? It goes against the rule that the unwritten rule that we say that WWE has, that they don't invest in somebody, changing them, put a new character, and then have them lose in such a mediocre match. Like, why not let her go to Chamber, Not
Well,
even.
I think the only reason why they didn't go that route, and they kind of experimented with that at the end of the match, because as Natty walked up the stage, she got jumped by Maxine, and
Whoa. You're a
Steve,
chickmunk again.
you gotta, Steve. Yep.
What the fuck?
That's funny.
This is great. Now he's gonna kick me out. Watch. Could you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I guarantee you, I'm not gonna be able to hear you when he comes in.
All right, here we go. Here he comes.
yeah, he's here. Is that better?
Could you hear me?
Oh no! Now,
I can hear Al.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
We can all hear you.
We're good then.
We're
Okay.
good.
So they're
Yeah.
obviously setting up Maxine rematch or match with Natty either at the Chamber or Chamber and Mania. I mean, so that's the only reason why. But then I would have kind of expected them to.
It's happening again. See, it's happening again. Steve, it's happening again. Steve, it's happening again. Oh no.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. Do we really think we're gonna stretch Maxine and I guess we could. We could stretch that out till WrestleMania.
I mean, why not? I mean, my question is this: does that match? Granted, we have 2 nights now, but does that match fit in a WrestleMania?
Uh-oh. Steve, it's not fixed.
You're still a chickmunk.
That's rough. I can't hear anything right now.
Nothing.
Nope.
He's got to be so pissed.
He tried to say what match. All I heard was third time's a charm. You back?
Uh,
Oh no, I can't hear you, Steven.
I can't hear you now.
Nope. Oh man, this is great. If you listen to the podcast version, I recommend you check out the video because this is
And we're not fucking with you. I'm dead serious.
no, we're not. We can't. You can go back and look. You can watch afterward. We're not fucking with you. It's just the look he's getting on, isn't it? All right, while he's gone, let's see. Hey, David made some
You hear me?
comments. I can hear you.
Vince,
Can
you
you
can
hear
hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you now.
Oh,
Shit.
Jesus Christ. What is happening?
All right, I'll be back.
All right. I'm just acknowledging David. Oh, no, Steven, your thing is still squeaking, buddy. Now it's cutting out completely. Now it's squeaking. $99.1 PLR. You're listening to all the hits. It's a 2 for Tuesday. You just heard Panama by Van Halen.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, hey.
Oh wait,
fucking
let's
A.
put him back. Put him back. Put him
Oh,
back. Here we
I
go.
got
Can
it.
you hear us now?
Okay, are we good now?
Hey, how we doing?
That only took 2 minutes.
Fucking Christ.
All right.
So we were talking
Anyhow.
about Natty and Maxine, and will it go to Elimination Chamber or will it go all the way to WrestleMania?
I mean, I could see it going all the way to Mania.
But is it a WrestleMania match? Is the
No.
question.
No, it'll be a bathroom match.
NXT Takeover, baby.
All right, so we're at the top of the hour. So real quick, CM Punk cuts out a promo. Judgment Day comes out. JD Maduna's back. Just a confrontation and a promo. Penta versus El Grande Americano. Great match. Great match. Loved the return of the OG Americano at the end. And then, him and Penta working together. Chad
Yeah.
Gable. Awesome. AJ Lee promo with Becky Lynch, I thought was a home run. I thought they did a great job. You kind of started to see the craziness of AJ come out a little bit, which is cool. I do stick to what I said last week. I think Becky gets over at Elimination Chamber, and then AJ wins it at Mania. That's just how I'm thinking this is going to go. You had the qualifier, Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic. I mean, Javon Evans, it gets more impressive every single week for me. I mean,
He's so
that
he's
kid
so
is such
bouncy.
a fucking star. He's so bouncy. Big fan of him. And that was your main event. I mean, that was pretty much the show. I mean, it was okay. I don't agree with you, Al. I don't think it was the worst wrestling we had all week, but it definitely, Raw and SmackDown weren't home run shows for me. But they weren't terrible.
No. I think combination of both shows. Think about all year. The year's been pretty solid so far. I think it's been the worst week. Think about it. We already lost Braun Breaker this week. No Rollins. There was no Tribal Chief. Like there was like almost nothing. No major upsets or belt that change hands or holy shit moments or this is awesome
this goes to
matches.
Elimination Chamber. You're not going to have many title changes now.
No, I'm just giving an example. Just anything in general that has happened.
You know, I think there's just still a lot brewing. Like the Masked Man, this packaged crate that now we're speculating about. I just hope this doesn't turn into a gobbledygooker situation. You know, you have the where's Oba gonna sign? So you have a lot of things in the works. It's just like I feel like these are the kind of things that are usually already solidified once you start the road to WrestleMania, and I think they waited too long. And then, of course, I do agree with Al, you know, that you did have injuries. I mean, now you got Bronson out, you got Rollins out. Who knows when they're coming back? Bianca's still out. I think she finally just had surgery on the finger. Yeah. And that was a year ago, so I don't know what the fuck that story's about. So you got a lot of people that, you know...
I saw a picture of her finger. I don't know if that shit was real, but if it was real, that shit looks very nasty.
It's similar to an injury. Real. It's similar to an injury that football players get, and a lot of guys just amputate that finger rather than get it fixed because it's too much of a pain in the ass. Because they can fix it, and it'll still be basically frozen. Like you won't have much range of motion, if anything. It'll just be like a finger hanging out there. So that's a very real possibility. I don't think she's going to cut her finger off, but I don't know if, you know, I don't know if that affects your wrestling. Like it affects a lot of things, obviously not having a pinky, but I don't know. Hopefully, you know, they were able to repair it and it's not like completely fucked. The other thing that I wanted to just mention briefly, since we're going to wrap up soon, is I am very glad that Oba, Trick, and Javon, who all got called up at the same time, who are not all the same person, but they are three black men who all got called up to the main roster at the same time, could get lost in the shuffle or could all end up on the same brand doing fucking nothing. And Javon's over on one show and Trick is over on the other one, and Oba, wherever he shows up, is over. And I'm just really glad that those three guys so far are working out on the main roster.
Agree. Oh, yeah. It's so easy to get lost in that transition from NXT to WWE. Yeah, we've seen so many people that were promising, and we thought were the next whoever or whatever. And it is nice to see that. It is very nice to see that, and you know, like we do say, right, the fact that they are African American, whatever, you know, it is a great thing that they actually are getting over. But especially that kid, Javon Evans, bro, I don't care if he was fucking green.
Right, I know.
That kid gets over in anything or whatever he wants to be in life because he is just that gifted and talented. Agree again with Steve on one thing. He takes bumps way too well. It hopefully is not something that hampers his career. Hopefully it takes more of a Shawn Michael turn and not less than a Dolph Ziggler turn.
Yep.
Yeah, we all had the same thought there. Dolph Ziggler is the big example of that. You look so good taking bumps, they just want you to do it and put other people over.
Yeah, why win? You look great sucking.
Well, on that note, we are at the top of the hour.
My goodness, that shit flew by. Another edition of the War Report After Dark. We do this every 9 p.m. Eastern Time on a Tuesday evening. Whatever platform you're on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube Live, just go back to our page there next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Today's the 17th, by the way. 9 o'clock Eastern Time on a Tuesday, Facebook and YouTube live streams. Go to youtube.com, type tag me a date in the search bar, hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we go live. Or on Facebook, type tag me a date in the search bar and hit that follow button, and our live stream will show up right in your news feed at 9 p.m. If you prefer an audio version instead of a video version, you can go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts. Type in Tag Me a Date, type in the War Report. You'll see our logo that's in the top right corner. You'll see our names in the description, Steve, Vince, etc. Hit the subscribe button. Steve or Ryan grab that audio and upload it between Tuesday and Wednesday. And as long as you're subscribed, it goes right to your tablet or your mobile device. You can take it with you on the road or at the gym or whatever you're doing throughout your day. And last but not least, give us a follow on social media, Instagram, Twitter /X. Look for Tag Me a Date on both of those. On TikTok, look for the War Report Podcast. Put that in the search. The War Report Podcast. Follow the account. We post shorts and reels across social media throughout the week to catch you up on what you missed and get you ready for next Tuesday's show. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great one. We'll be back Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Have a great week.
Fuck over.
There it is.